Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope that you all are well and you're having a nice time. So I'm back with another video, and in this one I'll run you through the team selection for the UCL Fantasy Matchday 6. And with my excitement, you can see that I did well in Matchday 5 with the limitless that I punted upon, because it was a very different strategy for me. I have been using in the second and third the chips that we get, wildcard and the limitless in the previous few seasons, but I altered it and things have been falling in my way so far. Let's see how more the luck is with me and how well can we go in the future game weeks. So meanwhile, if you have not subscribed to the channel already, please do that and help me reach 1500 subs sooner, because that is the aim and the goal for now. So in this video, I'll be running you through the picks that I'm currently looking at. We'll talk about how matchday 5 went and what were the differences that I had, and they did well. Obviously, you might have seen that already on Twitter, but I'll still highlight all of that, to give an overview of how the team is performing. Now, without further ado, let's go to the points review of matchday 5, and then I'll take you to the transfer selection for matchday 6, obviously. Now, if I take you here to my team, and looking at matchday 5, it was definitely an exciting one. Erling Haaland with 6 points and Kylian Mbappe with 6 points. Both of them returned. Griezmann was my third forward, which was a bad move, to be honest. He just got 2 points. I was expecting some return from him in that game. So there was not much in that game from Griezmann. Felipe Anderson accompanying him with just 4 points, and then Theo Hernandez with just 3 points. Looking at the midfield, I had Bruno Fernandes, who was among the differentials that I owned, and he got me 11 points. There was one thing in my mind at a point where I might just have given the armband to Bruno Fernandes, but placing it on Saka was equally good. He scored me 24 points in that game, a goal and an assist, and it was obviously a very good one for Arsenal. They bashed the other team 5-0. And then obviously Jude Bellingham with 14 points. He just can't stop scoring. Jude Bellingham is the new sensation at Real Madrid and even in the footballing world. Phil Foden with 17 points. I was expecting just a return from Phil Foden, but he got me 17 points. So I won't be greedy. I am thankful with the 17 points he scored me this week. With Saliba 6-pointer, Cancelo with a goal scored and an assist with a 14 points. Huge performance from Cancelo in that game, which was obviously a must-win game for Barcelona. Munoz with 6 points, Kim with 0, and Providel with 7 points. So with Kim, I forgot to check the team news. Obviously, I was busy with work and stuff. So I missed out on the team news, and Kim was not in the squad. So I would have just left Felipe Anderson in, and those were extra 4 points for me. So 15 points would have been the total. But not to be greedy, I am happy with the 111 points that I have. Now I'll take you to the current ranks, and then we'll talk about the team selection for this week. If you look at how my team did, here are the leagues. In the leagues that I'm currently playing, in the private ones, I am on first. In two, obviously the first one has just 4 members, and the third one I'm on second among 32 members. If you look at the overall rank, I'm currently on 333. Not the best one I've had, but hopefully I can push more to go somewhere around in the top hundreds. And then obviously in the country, I'm currently on 4th, which is a good rank, obviously. And then in Barcelona's league, it is a public league with 40,000 plus members. I am currently on 7th. So these are my current ranks, and I'm expecting a red one in this one. I won't lie to you. It is what it is. I'm expecting a red one because I'm not very confident about my team. I'll show you that, and we'll do a couple of tweaks with two free transfers and probably a -4. There will be 3 tweaks in that case if I am doing a -4. So with 111 points scored in the previous one, my team is ready to absorb a little damage, and I wouldn't be thrown very far with the rank. So I can quickly climb back in the round of 16 when we'll get unlimited transfers, and I'll throw some of the players out that I don't want anymore in my side. So this is from the league's perspective. Now we go back to my team, and I'll show you how the team is currently looking like for me. Harry Kane obviously has got Man United at away with a 5-0 bashing, probably 5-2 or 5-1 bashing. I don't remember the exact score, but I know the opponent team scored 5 in the Bundesliga. So with Harry Kane, I think they will go in the full flow in that game versus United, and United is still struggling to do anything, to be honest. They lost to, obviously they were bashed by Bournemouth, and I am expecting a bad performance from United. Obviously, even it is Old Trafford, and Harry Kane is the guy if you want to get those goals in Old Trafford. So with Harry Kane facing Man United at away, I think he's going to start the game, and it'll be a good one. It is a fixture that we are pretty excited about. Kylian Mbappe versus Dortmund. PSG has to win in order to qualify, and this group is still open. You got PSG fighting for it. You got Dortmund is safe. Newcastle is going to fight for it. PSG is going to fight for it, and then there is obviously Milan. So all of them have to win the game. Then we move on to the third forward, and that is Julian Alvarez. He got a return today, even though Haaland was not playing. And I'm not sure that Haaland would start this midweek game in the Champions League, but as of now, I'm pretty sure that Alvarez and Doku are safe. Alvarez has been featuring in every game so far, so he still is a safer option with a guy replacing Kevin De Bruyne. And then obviously they cannot replace Kevin De Bruyne, but in terms of the fantasy, that is what I'm talking about with the points. Obviously, he has been returning points, and then obviously Doku is someone who did not start this week, and I'm hoping that he is in there in the midweek fixture. So that would be those would be something of an advantage thingy for me with Alvarez and Doku playing in that game. We look at the midfield. Jude Bellingham is in there. There are doubts of him starting this game, but I'll just give it a go and I'll put him into my side, and we'll see what I could do. I wouldn't waste my free transfer on a player who might start and get some attacking returns. Then Leroy Sané is going to be in there, and Bryce Mendes is someone who's out of form, and I would have to take him out sooner or later because he is not performing well. The rest of the midfielders are obviously, I told about Doku and Stangs. Stangs on another differential in my side, and hopefully he could redo what he did versus Celtic in the first game. Then obviously we've got Trippier, I've got Munoz, I've got Di Lorenzo, Carmao and Rome. Rome and Munoz again are two of the players that are under the threat of not starting the game because teams have qualified, they wouldn't risk their players. So Ter Stegen is out, he's got a back injury, back problem, something related to that, and Sommer is my sole keeper. So these are the players that I would have to take out. Carmao, I'll just leave him in the team. We'll see that in the game. Obviously, after the round of 16 kicks off, obviously we'll see that what are the transfers that are to be made. But as of now, I just leave Carmo in. The players that I'm currently looking to replace are obviously Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. I would take him out, bring in a keeper, a cheaper option obviously, and then Bryce Mendes is someone that I am willing to replace and go for some midfielder that could be a little differential that not a lot of people own, but there would be some attacking returns for him in that game. Obviously that depends upon the luck, and I wouldn't guarantee any of the returns, but just I'll play my luck this week again. Now we move to make transfers. What I had in mind was to replace Ter Stegen and go for that keeper from Porto. His name is obviously Costa. And this is the guy that I would go for. He has kept one clean sheet. And obviously they lost the clean sheet in the first game they played versus Shakhtar, but I'm willing to give it a go. And obviously I would just play him, take a risk and play him versus Shakhtar at home. So Diego Costa is someone that I'm willing to bring in to replace the guy Ter Stegen that I had. Let's see, they don't play on the same day. Obviously they don't. So he's going to play on the 14th, he's going to play on the 13th. So this is a little difference here. So I just let Diego Costa come into my side. I'm not pretty sure Jan Sommer might start this one too. He might just be rested, but we'll see that. They have been winning games, and yeah, they have won the games. They have they have made their qualification less easier for their side. So we'll see versus Sociedad, but it won't be an easy one versus Sociedad. To be very honest, I'm not very sure that there will be a clean sheet in that game with the game Real Sociedad is currently playing. I'll take out Bryce Mendes from the side. And there were two players that I had in mind. One is obviously Bruno Fernandes. I can go for him and just punt on him with the Bayern game that they have. He firstly got an assist in that game, and now this is a home game. So with Bayern conceding obviously goals, Bruno Fernandes can now equally hit them. United can equally hit them. With Bayern, a little shattered defensively. Currently, they're not in the best of their forms. So Bruno Fernandes could come in. I would then obviously have to take a -4 to accompany this because I am somewhere stuck with this. So this is something I would have to look at. Obviously then I would have to sell another midfielder, probably Jude Bellingham if he is not starting, or obviously I would have to take a -4 to either replace Julian Alvarez for a much cheaper forward. So Bruno Fernandes I would have to take a -4. That is pretty visible, but let's see what are the other options that I have. If I just press this, what are the other options that I could go for? Obviously Xavi Simons is in there, but to be honest, there is another thingy that he might not start the game. And the other differential that I wanted to talk about first was João Mario. I could just bring him in, but then again for him too, I would have to take a -4 hit because I do not have the current bank to actually replace Ter Stegen with a goalkeeper. If I just keep João Mario and I bring him in, let's see what are the goalkeeper options if I want to go for someone. So obviously you've got Kobel, who he not 100%. I do not expect a clean sheet versus PSG in this game. And then there is obviously Providel, who's got Atletico Madrid, and then there is a Romero. Romero, obviously, Raya is in there. I can punt on Raya, but then again, it's an away game, and I'm not trusting Arsenal in those away games after yesterday. What happened yesterday? There's obviously Schläger, who now has Benfica, and I am expecting rotations in that game. So I'm not expecting obviously Salzburg to be very efficient with their defense. They have been efficient with their defense. Obviously, this was a 0-0 game they had previously, and then obviously they just conceded 1 goal versus Inter. So they have been defensively very solid, but I'm not expecting them to be keeping clean sheets in those games. So let's see what other options we can go for. I can punt on hard, but obviously not the best of options to go for. But there are not a lot of options. There are not a lot of options in terms of the goalkeepers. Obviously, with Ederson, we're not sure even if he's going to start. He might just start Ortega in this game. So I have to be very efficient with whoever I bring in. One player that I had in mind was I could go for Merit. Obviously, he got a clean sheet versus Union Berlin in that away game. He has made saves. I wouldn't lie that he don't make saves. But in the first one, in that away game, they ended up conceding. I could just give him a go. And if I go for Merit, I think I would have the bank enough to afford João Mario up front. So there are a little bit tweaks in my side. I wouldn't be making huge changes, but the goalkeeper has to come in, and I've given you options. It will either be Diego Costa or Merit. In any case, to afford a midfielder, I have to take a -4 hit, but with Merit coming at the back, I can afford João Mario easily. I wouldn't go for another punt in the midfield, and I would go for someone who's a guaranteed starter. And the reason for that is because of, obviously, I have Stangs and Doku, obviously 2 punts. I wouldn't want another punt in the midfield, and I would rather go for someone who is expected to start the game. Now, if we look at the previous game, he was very good in that game, but he only played 89 minutes. So João Mario obviously is a differential in my side. I mean, if you look at the other options, let's see what options we have in terms of the midfield. If I just go for the midfielders, I wouldn't say who I will guaranteed bring in, but obviously these are some of the options that I'm looking at. I wouldn't go for Saka. I don't think he is going to be risked in that game. He'll just be benched. There's obviously the likes of Galeno who I can bring in, but he wasn't very good in this previous game. He got an assist, but since then he hasn't been performing well. So I can go for Galeno. Could be a differential. Xavi Simons was one option, but obviously their qualification is done, so I'm expecting rotations in that game. And I am being very honest here. And to be honest, one of the players that had caught my eye in the previous one, this is just on the last game's performance. I can even look at an option, and they've got obviously Copenhagen, but it is an away game, just to give you a clear idea. Hakim Ziyech could be another option who you might look at if not going for João Mario. So not a lot of options we have. Well, obviously this is the struggle in the last game week. This is usually the struggle in the last game week where you see that there are rotation issues. You go for a player and he might not start. There are 2 lads from Newcastle that I could bring in, either Gordon or Miguel Almiron. Gordon would be my go-to pick if I am being very clear with you. If I am going for someone from obviously the likes of Newcastle. So Gordon and Almiron, 2 options are there. I wouldn't really bet on Çalhanoğlu, even though he's at the set pieces. So what are the other options we have? There's obviously Koeman. I can double up on the likes of Bayern in the midfield. Yeah, these are the only options. I don't see a lot of options coming in here. Felipe Anderson doesn't have an easy game, to be very honest, and there is obviously Javier Teixeira, who I cannot afford until a -4. So another option other than João Mario would obviously be Gordon. I'd just give him a go, because I also have him in my UCL Fantasy. So with Merit, just to clear you this, both of them play on the same game, so I wouldn't have another keeper. I am expecting Sommer to not start this game because their qualification kind of thing is done. So I am expecting, Merit. I just play Merit, and that would be my goalkeeper playing that day, and Jan Sommer would just take the bench. I'll still look at other options. If I find someone else, I might just bring him in, but as of now, I'm willing to play Merit only, and I'm expecting a clean sheet in that game. Gordon would come in, obviously, if I need if I need to, take out the likes of the player that I obviously Jao Mario, and if I need to take out Bryce Mendes from my side, so Gordon would be someone I would look at. So there are 3 options that I'm currently looking at with a -4, definitely with a -4. Jao Mario alongside Merit obviously would come in, and then there is Bruno Fernandes who could come in, and without the -4, Gordon is my go-to pick that would come into my side, and that is obviously without the -4. So, and again, Gordon is a punt that I've talked about with Stings, Doku already in my side. Gordon is going to be the third punt, so I have to clear my mind and look at some of the players that are guaranteed to start. This is the struggle that I told you about in match day 6, and this is why I'm not very confident about my team. So the goalkeeper has to be changed. It'll either be Merit coming into my side, or it'll either be Costa coming into my side. I've showed you both of my options, and I've also talked about the midfield options that I'm considering. Just to cut out the bank as of here, because I have to make some adjustments to get the correct combination in. But yeah, these are some of the picks I am wrapping my head around. Obviously none of you would still be pretty sold on the picks, because if it was match day 6, match day 5, I would be pretty sold, or if it was match day 3 or 4, I would be pretty sold. But at this part of at this stage, you have to see a lot of rotation. This is why usually I don't recommend using your chips in match day 6, because there are heavy rotations in these games. So I think this is currently it from my side. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what are your plans and what are the picks that you're currently looking at to bring into your side. And I hope and wish that we all end up at green arrows at the end of the week.